to my 2025 resolution. All right, I'm going to call this regular City Commission meeting of January 6, 2025, first of 2025, to order. All please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Glad I wear my taller heel boots against you. All right, and as always, we begin our meeting by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the territory of the Ottawa and Chippewa peoples who have stewarded this land through the generations. Thank you for your strength and resilience in protecting this land and inspiring us to uphold our responsibilities to do the same. And with that, we will start our roll call, please, from Sarah down here.
Commissioner Treadwell?
Here.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Stanley?
Here.
Commissioner Werner?
Here.
Mayor?
Here.
Thank you.
All right. And to begin, we have a tribute I'm very excited to do here for Vitruba Leather, celebrating 150 years in Traverse City. So we'll join me up at the podium here. Okay, great. Okay, so let it be known that that it is an honor and a privilege to pay tribute to Vitruba Leather Company as we celebrate 150 years since Frank Vitruba founded a tiny harness shop in a wooden building on the edge of the Bourbon River. Having emigrated from Bohemia, Czechoslovakia, Frank opened F. Vitruba Harness Company in 1874 and established himself as a trusted leathersmith in northern Michigan. By 1891, Frank and his brother-in-law, Tony Bardak, I think I said that right, had partnered to build the City Opera House, and Frank moved his harness company into the east third of the ground floor there. Today, what was the former harness repair shop is still located in the attached building out back. And the City Opera House remains a nationally recognized landmark with its iconic architecture and widespread impact on the region. The Vitruba family remained loyal to their downtown retail roots as the store transitioned from harness company to leather collar and hat boxes to travel trunks and suitcases. In 1967, Frank's son Bill Vitruba sold the business to Earl Glassmer family, which continued ownership until 2022. In special tribute, therefore, this document is hereby signed and dedicated to honor the rich history of Vitruba Leather Company and its longstanding commitment as an establishment in the city of Traverse City.
Who's all been to Vitruba before? Yeah, that's what I like to see. My name is Brian. I'm the general manager at Vitruba, and we are trying to continue the great history of the store, and we appreciate all that you guys have done for us and getting the recognition out there. And this was just it was unexpected, and it was just great to see. So we're going to continue to give the community great products, great service, and we hope to see you soon.
Mentioned that when we were at the celebration a couple of weeks ago that you might even, you're checking that you might even be the longest established continuous operating leather goods store in the country?
Yeah, so we are for sure the oldest travel goods store in the country at 150 years old, and we might, it's really tough to tell if it's sure or not, but we might be the oldest leather goods store in the country.
So thank you for bringing that to Traverse City and keeping it.
Thank you very much.
And actually, it's yours to keep.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I like as many
Yes,
copies as possible.
yes, exactly. Okay, and with that, we will now move on to announcements from the city manager. Do you have any?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Shamrow. I have a few announcements this evening. In the new year, our strategic planning efforts will kick off again with a community report and survey issued later this week. The report will focus on the think tank and community visioning sessions that took place this fall. We will be sending a postcard to households to take the community survey and encourage the public to engage in this really important process. Lastly, please save the date for our community roundtable session that will be open to the public and is planned for January 21st. And Hickory Hills Ski Area will officially open this Friday, January 10th. Nordic skiers, please be aware that our partners, the Vasa Ski Club, will be hosting the first annual Raptor Rush on Saturday, January 11th. That is open for registration for adults and youth.
Thank you for that. It's exciting. And announcements from the city clerk, or deputy city clerk tonight.
My announcements, our meeting scheduled this week are the Planning Commission will meet on Tuesday, January 7th at 6 p.m. in the Chambers. The Recreational Authority will meet Wednesday, January 8th at 7 p.m. in the Chambers. And the Parks and Rec Commission will meet this Thursday, January 9th at 6:30 here in the Chambers also. We're always looking for people to apply for boards and committees, so please get those applications in.
Perfect, thank you so much. And as another announcement, we're going to do something we don't often do, but I think it's a very big announcement, so I appreciate them coming. We've got an update from DT, and I think Chris is here to do that, so we'll let them present. I know a lot of news has been shared, but we get a full report here. Oh, and Tony from Light and Power.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the Council Commission. Appreciate it. Chris Hackbarth, I'm the Regional Manager for DTE for Northern Michigan. And
Tony Chartrand, Engineering Manager for Light and Power.
Hi, Ron Marlowe, DTE Construction Supervisor.
appreciate the opportunity today to kind of update everyone on what we've been working on the last probably, well, it's been going on for quite a while, but heavily involved in the last 2 months as we work to accommodate some of the needs for the upcoming roundabout project at the M22, M72 intersection. And let's see, there we go. So just kind of a quick overview, and you guys jump in as I go through this. This is obviously, you know, it's a very congested intersection. Not only is it congested from a traffic perspective, but also from a utility perspective. As MDOT is pursuing this project and getting ready to begin their construction, they have required all of the utilities within the footprint of the project to be below grade, no overhead at all, and underground has to be below grade. So we're all moving, as you can see, each one of these utilities are making plans to address the need to move our facilities.
You're fine, keep going.
There we go.
One of us is nearsighted.
So walking through this, our understanding from MDOT is they are going to be beginning, again, weather dependent, early April, late March with their construction. So all of our work has to be completed by that time. So that's the window we're operating in right now. Our joint effort, MDOT's had the utilities meeting on a bi-weekly basis.
We're actually meeting every Monday.
Can you speak into the mic so that the people at home can hear?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're doing a weekly call with MDOT, communicating any updates, any permit requirements or changes to the design plan along the way.
They've been looking through this intersection for at least 6 months to find corridors for the utility, all of us, to have a path that we can get through. As I mentioned, there's a lot going on in this corridor underground. When about middle of November, the MDOT and the utilities came to an agreement that there was really one path, and we'll go through that, one corridor to place our facilities in. DTE and Traverse City Light and Power are working jointly in this corridor. Other utilities have found different ways to go around based upon their needs, but for us, we have a 60-pound plastic line and a 150-pound steel line through here. And Tony, you guys will be having?
Yeah, we have an overhead line through there.
So we'll be working together. Again, just the constraint on us really leaves us with one option. You can see here the overall design from MDOT of the traffic circle. It's got a very significant footprint. And this is from our design, again, M72 kind of heading down and 22 as the curved part at the top. The corridor you can see, and difficult to point out here, but the orange line that cuts diagonally from the northwest corner near Tom's back west at a diagonal to the northwest corner of Bay Street in 72. That is the route that is the only route that's available for movement of our facilities. In going through this, there are, and I don't know, Ron, if you want to run through the kind of the technical aspects of what's going to be required for our piece again. DTE has steel in here that will require a much different approach to installation than our plastic or the conduit that TCLP will be able to utilize. So Ron can kind of run through what's going to be required for us here.
Okay, so the corridor that we have to run through has been determined by MDOT, and so essentially what we're doing is we're steering around any existing facilities that are currently in place, as well as proposed facilities that will be put in during the construction process. They're upsizing almost everything that's going in there, including a large storm, which you see on this print, you'll kind of see that dashed red line, and it drops down on a 45, and it goes parallel. It's got that 20-foot mark there. Essentially what we're doing there is we're getting underneath that large storm, and then we're coming back up. And in doing so, we have to go about 9 feet deep at that point. And the worst part about it is that the water table currently, just before we took a break for Christmas, was around 7 foot. All right, so that's kind of where we're running into some technical issues. 'Cause we have to drag a trench box through that entire intersection because we're going to have people down in there doing welding. We have to do x-ray of all the welds underneath the ground, and then we got to do corrosion checks. So there's a lot that's going to be happening after we install that pipe, and we've got to try to fish it kind of through all these other utilities, not only that are currently there, but also the proposed. Another thing that we have to keep in mind when we're doing this is that we have to stay within our internal policies, guidelines, as far as having the correct amount of cover during construction. So we have to put it extra deep, because when they come through that intersection for the roundabout construction, they're going to take off roughly 4 feet from the existing asphalt roadway right now down to remove that 4 feet. So we got to be certain that we have enough cover. That's why we can't go shallower, which is why we have to close that entire intersection. Certainly not something that we want to do, but something that we have to do. And they're going to have dewatering pumps and hoses and bypass pumps there for sewers and things that are going to have to stop and then kind of bypass around over the top of the trench. They're going to have pumps going day and night. It's going to be quite a circus. So unfortunately, you know, with all of that kind of work, we had no real option other than to close that down to keep the general public safe, so no one steers into the ditch, as well as the workers.
And then from light and power standpoint?
Yeah, lane power standpoint, we just have one plastic conduit, a 6-inch, so we don't have, you know, to do welding or such, so it's a little easier, and it's also some flexibility, but we'll just be in the trench right now.
Here we did a couple of street views just so you can get a sense again for where we are looking. If you've got an up-close version of it, on the far end you can actually see the plastic, yellow plastic post, which is where we will be coming. You can see where the line is.